Reaction to what is physically seen interrupts unfolding. This is the most direct statement of the threat to development. In the entire architecture of the 28 laws, reaction, interruption, unfolding, suspended. In these 14 days, you will understand precisely what reaction is, why it interrupts, and what the quality of non-reaction looks like. In the thinker who has built it through the practice of this phase. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 211 of 365. To focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of non-reaction, introduction. Pause for a moment. A new law, the final law of phase 4, the law of non-reaction. Reaction to what is physically seen interrupts unfolding. This is the most direct statement of the threat to development. In the entire architecture of the 28 laws, reaction, interruption, unfolding, suspended. In these 14 days, you will understand precisely what reaction is, why it interrupts, and what the quality of non-reaction looks like. In the thinker who has built it through the practice of this phase. Pause. First, understand what unfolding is. Unfolding is not something the thinker does. Unfolding is what the seed does when the conditions are right. When the mind is quality, when recognition has perceived the seed, when thinking is sustained upon it, when alignment is maintained, when steadfastness is operating. The seed unfolds. Not because the thinker forced it, because the seed is already complete, already carrying its full physical expression, and in the quality ground of the aligned, disciplined mind, the seed unfolds according to what it already contains. The process is not the thinker's to manage, it is the thinker's to allow. Thought is within, effect is without, thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. And the primary threat to unfolding, and the law states precisely, is reaction to what is physically seen, not the difficulty of the seed, not the complexity of what is being developed, not the length of the invisible period. Reaction, the thinker's own response to conditions, their own following of what is without, their own redirection of thinking from the seed to the surface. This is the primary interrupter of unfolding, and it is entirely within the thinker, not imposed by conditions, not caused by circumstances, the thinker's own reaction, which means it is entirely within the thinker's power to change. Non-reaction is not about changing conditions, it is about changing the inner response to conditions, and that is within the thinker's authority, completely, always, from within. Pause. The law of non-reaction does not ask the thinker to be unfeeling. It does not ask them to be unmoved by life, not to care about what appears, not to be removed from experience, not to lack awareness of what is without. Non-reaction operates at a different level than feeling. The thinker can perceive, can notice, can be fully aware of conditions. Non-reaction does not prevent perception. It prevents the direction of thinking from following that perception. There is a difference between perceiving a condition and following it with thinking. The thinker can perceive and remain upon the seed, can notice what is without and keep thinking directed within, can see what conditions present and not redirect from the seed. This is non-reaction, not the absence of awareness, the presence of inner direction, maintained despite awareness. The seed is perceived within, the condition is perceived without, and the thinking remains upon the seed. The condition does not redirect the thinking. The condition is seen. The thinking does not follow it. Non-reaction, inner, sustained, from within, not a suppression of awareness, an orientation of thinking toward the seed always, regardless of what the five senses report, and from within, held and undisturbed, the seed unfolds. Pause. The seed does not ask for dramatic conditions. It asks only that thinking remain upon it. Non-reaction is the keeping of that thinking, and what is kept upon the seed within must unfold. Now, the affirmation for day 211. Pause for a moment. I perceive what is physically seen. I do not react to it. I acknowledge what appears. I do not follow it. Conditions present themselves. I remain upon the seed. The appearance is secondary. The seed is primary. I operate from the primary. I do not allow what is secondary to interrupt what is developing within the primary. I hold, I sustain, I remain, and what is held and sustained must unfold, and what unfolds must physically express. Remember, by design, by focus.